And the guys, I remember when the incident first came down, it was very impressive. And the fact that the guy didn't have a gun, he had that AK-47 plus.
From cowboy hats to Oscars, Clint Eastwood has been a Hollywood icon for over half a century. But what does the daily life of this legendary actor, director, and producer really look like? Join us as we uncover the secrets of Clint Eastwood's lifestyle from his early days on set to his current status as a living legend and everything in between. Clinton Eastwood Jr., born on May 31, 1930, is an American actor and filmmaker. Eastwood's accolades include 4 Academy Awards, 4 Golden Globe Awards, 3 Caesar Awards, and an AFI Life Achievement Award.
Fox got her knife. I mean, the guy was leading down for bear, and all of a sudden he just runs at him.
Now let's take a look at his interests and favorite hobbies. Eastwood has 2 dogs. He's a patron of the arts, notably as an avid collector of Western art. Eastwood has been a health and fitness fanatic since he was a teenager. When directing, he simply says, "Okay," instead of "action" and "cut." He's an avid golfer and enjoys spending time outdoors. He's also a fan of jazz music.
And then all of a sudden, I just looked at him and I said, I don't know if I can find guys with the same faces and the same enthusiasm. I'm sure I could have.
Let's see how he's getting on with his friends and family. Eastwood married his first wife, Maggie Johnson, in 1953. During that marriage, he had an affair that resulted in a child who was given up for adoption. He had a number of affairs, including a 14-year-long one with Roxanne Tunis that produced his daughter Kimber in 1964. Johnson had 2 kids with Eastwood. Kyle was born in 1968 and Allison in 1972. They divorced in 1984. In 1975, Eastwood and actress Sandra Locke began living together. While Eastwood was in a relationship with Locke, he had 2 kids, Scott and Catherine, with flight attendant Jacqueline Reeves. Eastwood had a daughter, Francesca, with actress Frances Fisher. Eastwood got married for the second time in 1996 to news anchor Dina Ruiz. She gave birth to their daughter Morgan that same year. Eastwood and Ruiz divorced in 2013. He was born to Ruth and Clinton Eastwood. He has a younger sister, Jean Bernard. Eastwood's father died from a heart attack at the age of 64 in 1970.
Technicians telling us exactly what happened and how it happened. And we kept going over it and over it and over it. And finally, as we did it about the 10th or 8th time.
With that being said, let's discuss how he earns money. Clint Eastwood is no stranger to making a few dollars. With a career spanning decades, he's earned a fortune through his work in film and lucrative brand endorsements. But what do the numbers really look like when it comes to his earnings? Back in 1980, Eastwood earned an impressive $12 million for his role in Any Which Way But Loose. In 1984, he was paid a whopping $5 million for his role in City Heat, cementing his status as one of the highest paid actors in Hollywood. But Eastwood wasn't content to rest on his laurels. In 1993, he took home a cool $7 million for his work in the Line of Fire, proving that even after decades in the industry, he was still in high demand. In 1997, he decided to launch his very own brand of beer, Pale Rider Ale. He has a net worth of $375 million. Ever wanted to know where he lives? Let's find out. Eastwood has a vast real estate portfolio in California, including his 15,000 square foot estate in Carmel by the Sea, a 6,136 square foot home in Bel Air, the 1,067-acre Rising River Ranch in Bernie, and another home next door to his primary Bel Air residence. He also has a 1.5-acre oceanfront property in Maui and a 5,700 square foot house in Sun Valley, Idaho. Eastwood has listed his 6,900 square foot mansion on its 4.7-acre exclusive estate for $9.75 million. The Spanish colonial-style villa nestles on the sun-kissed Pebble Beach beside Carmel Bay. The courtyard centers around a lovely fountain. 2 giant oak trees and other plants offer shade for visitors and make the yard feel more like a garden. Now let's see what type of vehicles you'll find in his garage. A 1932 Ford Roadster, a 1937 Lincoln K-Series convertible, a 1955 Austin Healey 100M, a 1972 Gran Torino Sport, a 1974 Ferrari 365 GT4 Berlinetta Boxer, a Ferrari, Bristol 401, a Mustang Shelby, Eastwood is an FAA-licensed fixed-wing and rotary craft private pilot and often flies his helicopter to the studios to avoid traffic. If you enjoy our videos, give us a thumbs up and hit the subscribe button. Your support means a lot to us. It's hard to get the full picture of someone's lifestyle without seeing how they got there, so where did it all begin? During the 1930s, his family moved frequently for his dad's jobs along the West Coast. The family settled in an affluent area of Piedmont, California in the 1940s. Clint was held back in middle school due to poor grades. He was expelled from Piedmont High School for writing an obscene note on the athletic school's scoreboard, as well as other disciplinary infractions. He then transferred to Oakland Technical High School. He was drafted into the Army during the Korean War. He spent his military service working as a lifeguard at Fort Ord in Northern California. One of the lucky breaks Eastwood had in the Army was when he met Chuck Hill. Hill had contacts in the entertainment industry and later introduced Eastwood to the director of photography, Irving Glassberg, who in turn introduced him to director Arthur Lieben. Lieben saw potential in Eastwood and suggested he take acting classes. Eastwood followed the advice and began going on auditions. He landed his first big role in the Western comedy Ginger Rogers. This led Eastwood to land a few other parts, but it wasn't until 1959 when he was cast in the television series Rawhide that his career really took off. In 1964, Eastwood was cast in his first iconic role as the man with no name in Sergio Leone's A Fistful of Dollars. Eastwood made his directorial debut with Play Misty for Me. Eastwood's biggest commercial successes were the 1978 adventure comedy Every Which Way But Loose and its 1980 sequel Any Which Way You Can. Other popular films include 1976's The Outlaw Josie Wales, 1982's Firefox, 1985's Pale Rider, 1993's In the Line of Fire, and 2008's Gran Torino. In October 2020, it was announced that Eastwood would direct, produce, and star in Cry Macho, an adaptation of the 1975 novel of the same name for Warner Brothers Pictures. It was released on September 17, 2021. That's all for today's video, and thanks for watching it. But don't stop here, there's more where that came from. Check out our other videos for more great content.